So what we want to talk about is HTML text formatting and quotation. So HTML text, this is a way you can be able to use the privilege of formatting your document, your HTML text. So what the first element we're going to talk about is the bold element. It's written with the B tag. So when you wrap a text with the bold element, it's going to define that text bold without any extra importance. So I'm going to use the lorem SA12. Make a mistake here. Lorem, let's say 10 or 11. Refresh. So I'm just going to create a p tag. So refresh. It's just going to give me text without any extra importance. So I'm just going to create a p tag so we see the difference between the regular p tag and the bold one. So I'm just going to copy this text here, Control C. I'm going to paste it here. So above is your regular p tag. So you can see how the bold element transform this, the b tag transform this to a bold text. So another one we have is a strong element. So the strong defines a text with strong importance. So you basically display the text in bold. That is just what it does. So it will display that text in bold. So another element we have is we want to talk about is a italic, the I element. So the I element. So the I element is used to define an alternate text or a technical text, or kind of in a mood, something like that. So it is used to display a text in italic form. So I'm just going to paste. So you're just going to transform this text to an italic text. This is it. I have to put a break before this, so it's going to be out. So refresh. So another element we have is the emphasize. It's used the EM element, which stands for emphasis. So it's used to lay an emphasis when you're emphasizing on a particular text. So the EM. So I'm going to put break before it. So this is a emphasize. So it is typically display the text in italic. So another one we have is a delete. It's used to strike a particular text or show that a particular text has been deleted from a document. So we have the DEL. So I'm going to break the DEL. So when you wrap a text with the DEL V, so refresh. So let's stretch this. So it shows that a particular text has been deleted. So another thing we have again is inserted, which is written with the ins, the inserted. So the inserted is written with the ins element, so it's used to it will underline a particular text, showing that this text was inserted into a document. So another one we have is a mark. So we have the mark. So the mark also is used to mark up a particular text, that is showing that that text is highlighted. So refresh to mark up the text. Another element we have is a small. The small, so it's going to reduce the text smaller than the average or the normal size of text, the regular size of text. So Ctrl V, paste this. So when I refresh, this text is going to be smaller than the normal size of text. So now another one we have the superscript and the subscript. So the superscript is used to display text, to define a text above the normal line of a text. So it's going to bring the text above the normal line of the text. So when you for example, you have your raised to power. So when you have like a raised to power 2 or something like that, so I'm going to write T capital, or let me use the H1. So I'm going to say T, capital T, raised to the power. So I'm going to write super. So to write this way, all you need to write is SUP, close, raised to power 2. So when you refresh, you have your T raised to power 2. So it renders it in a smaller font. So another thing we have is like we have the superscript, we also have the subscript. So it's going to render a text, or it's going to define a particular text below the normal line of a text. So you're also going to render it in a smaller form. For example, when you're dealing with all these chemical formulas, for example, your H2O. So I'm going to use the H1 again. So I'm going to say, H1. So I'm going to say H. So in order to write the 2, the 2 is usually below the normal flow of the text. I'm going to write the sub, SUB. Close this, sub. So I'm going to H2, and then I'm going to put my O at the end. O. So when I refresh, that is it. That is for your formatting. Now when it comes to quotation, one of the quotation, for example, you put a text, we have what we call the block quote. So for example, you put a text from a particular place, you are trying to bring a large text that is quoted from a particular place. All you need is we use a block quote. So we use a block quote for text. So block quote. So here, so I'm going to use this text to see. I'm going to paste it here to V. So going to press enter. So what this block quote is going to do, you're just going to put a left and right margin. That's a space, left and right. So this is it, centering the text. So we also put the site. So the site is used to refer to the particular place where this thing was quoted from. So let's say you quoted it from facebook.com. So you can put that here. So Another thing we have is a single line quote. So most of all this stuff we're talking about here can be done using your system keyboard. So we have the quote, the single line quote. So quote, so it's written with the Q. So for example, a particular line of code was quoted by Obama, something like that, and you want to write that. So I'm just going to create a p tag. So I'm just going to use lorem 12 to generate text. So refresh. So there I have it. So let's say this $C Ahmed was quoted from a particular place. So you can wrap that particular text, which is this, with the quote. So all I just need to do is wrap it with the quote, Q Control X, cut it, so into V. So when I refresh, you're going to see that quote above it. So another stuff we have again is, let's say your abbreviation. So for example, you are writing a particular text, and in that text you have something that has a full meaning. For example, let's say I'm writing this P. So let me just paste. I think I have a text. Oh, there's no text. Let me just use the lorem. Let me say lorem 10. So let me cut this. So now this is what I'm writing. So in this text, at this part, I want to put W. Okay, let's say the who, HO. So when I refresh, so this is it. So someone who is reading this and see this who may not even know what this who really means. So if you want to put the abbreviation, all you just need to do is wrap that text with the element ABBR. Wrap it with the element ABBR, and Ctrl X to cut, Ctrl V, paste. So at the first starting tag, we're going to apply an attribute called attribute title. We have talked about this in our previous class. The attribute title will add additional information about an element. So we're going to add it here. So we're going to write the full meaning of this particular who. So I'm going to write World Health Organization. So when I refresh, so and hover on it, you see that full meaning pops out. So another stuff we have is a cite. So the cite is used to it convert the text to stress or emphasize on a particular topic or a subtopic. For instance, so let's say you are writing a subtopic, or let me just write something out here. So p tag. So you were talking about let's say the movie is called 2022. Or it's a novel, 22, written by John Cabot. So in this part where you know this is the title, you can wrap this particular 22 with site. So I'm going to wrap it with site. So it's going to emphasize more on that. It's going to convert that 22 to, it's going to convert it into italic. So when I refresh, so you see what I have here, 22. So I'm supposed to put this in capital letter. So 22 written by John Carrot. So if you want to write an address, for example, you are writing an address, we also have the address element. So for example, you are writing an address, so you can use the address element. So let's say 20 Q street, comma. So I'm going to put a break here. BR 20 Q street is search. I'm going to put my break. BR and Enugu State. Nigeria. So something like this. Let's just say Nigeria. Doing a full stop. So I'm going to put my break here. So you can still use the address element to write it. So when I refresh, this is it. So this is it. So another thing we have is a bidirectional override, the BDO, bidirectional override. So for example, the BDO is just used to change the direction of a text. So BDO, so let's say this is HTML. So this is HTML. So here I'm going, you see by default text always read from the left to the right. So with the BDO I can change the direction of this text, reversing the text. So I can use the direction, I can say direction, so dir direction, so equals to, so I can say, so the R stands for right, L stands for left, so T stands for 2. So you can say I want to change, by default everything moves from left to right. This is a sorry, I don't need the old here. So left to right, this is the default for every text. Left to right, this is it. Left to right, this is the default. But I can change the direction by saying I want this text to start from right to left. So when I refresh, you see that this text is going to turn backward. So the direct bidirectional override is just with the direct attribute is used to reverse a text. In our next lecture we're going to talk about comment. So see you in our next class.